Firstly, I extend a warm welcome to Mr. Pratik Bhansali, speaker of today's session, and alumni of Christ University. Welcome to you, sir. I also welcome Mr. Maninder, who is also an alumni of Christ University, MBA 2008 to 2010 batch. I profoundly welcome Christ University leadership team and faculty members to this corporate interface session. I also extend a hearty welcome to all my friends and one and all who are present here. I now take the privilege of introducing you all, our alumni and today's speaker, Mr. Pratik Bhansali, who is delivering a talk on Decoding Entrepreneurship. Mr. Pratik Bhansali is an alumni of Christ University MBA 2008 to 2010 batch. He is currently the Group CEO of Bimal Bhansali Group. He did his schooling in Bishop Cotton Boys School and his mechanical engineering in Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering, Bangalore, and MBA from Christ University. As an entrepreneur, he is currently heading Bimal Bhansali Group, Bangalore, and is into polymers, construction, warehousing, infrastructure, and residential plotting. He has an inspirational 12 years of journey and an excellent track record. His idea to interact with students and help them think and dream of being a global entrepreneurs, directly contributing to strong India and a peaceful world. And most importantly, to focus on inclusive and sustained growth. He is here to share all his experiences and insights in an exclusive interactive session with MBA students. Sir, it's an honor to welcome you, and over to you, sir.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you, Georgie sir and Professor Avinash, and a special thanks to Molly ma'am at the placement office. About a month back, we were interacting and I got in touch with Molly ma'am. I also have a personal relation with Molly ma'am and sir. So we were just discussing on how we are working and what kind of fields we are into. And the discussion lasted almost for an hour. And she was very particular and immediately connected me to Professor Avinash the next morning. And from there, our interaction started. The basic idea is all of you are first year MBA students. So you're in a place where we were about 12, 13 years ago. We didn't have this building. Our MBA used to happen in the last building just next to the Birds Park and behind the library. And then I think in 2014-15, the department shifted here. Decoding entrepreneurship. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word entrepreneur or entrepreneurship? Can we have just one or two people give me a rough idea about what comes to your mind? Anything?
Jeff Bezos and Microsoft. It comes to my mind the moment you say entrepreneur.
Right, okay.
Because they're the people who are changing the things. Elon Musk.
Okay.
So that's what comes to my mind.
Great.
Who are solving the problems.
Ownership, I said.
Ownership.
Yes.
What does the word entrepreneur bring to you? Are you passionate about it? Do you think about it? Do you discuss about it?
Being your own boss.
Right? That's very much a part of it. It begins from there. But then you're also your own slave. I'll come to that. Right?
Entrepreneur, for me, it's the person who is ready to take risk. That comes to my mind. If I heard a word entrepreneur, the first thing which comes to mind, if you can take risk, you can be an entrepreneur.
Jagdish.
Hi, Jagdish.
When this word called entrepreneurship comes to mind, my mind is perseverance and struggle. The one who has the grit to do it, he will be the entrepreneur.
Right. Okay. Now we'll begin with a small presentation. And as we go through the presentation, we'll start discussing on various topics that we think are important for an entrepreneur mindset. Entrepreneur is not a startup. A startup is something different. Being an entrepreneur is something different. Being an entrepreneur is a thought process. It is a mindset. It is the ability to think out of the box, think differently all the time. Identifying problems. Now, you just can't say, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur. You don't know what to do. You have to begin somewhere. So how do you begin? What do you do? What service or what product do you get into? So there, identification of problem. Just start the presentation, but keep it on the first slide. Identification of the problem comes into picture. You observe. Most successful entrepreneurs have this one quality. They are very keen observers. They are very keen listeners. They observe things around you. By observe, it doesn't mean that you're watching things. You're observing things that go beyond your normal watch. Now, example, you're at a coffee shop. Most people would discuss IPL or maybe KGF movie of late. And maybe your exams, have you prepared your various presentations, projects that you need to give? Or what are your plans in your holiday? Entrepreneur is going to think, how many tables are there at the coffee shop? How many people drop in every hour? How many people sit at each table? What is the bill that each table generates? There are some people who just go there, order one coffee and sit there for 2 hours. They are very dangerous for the hotel owner or the coffee shop owner. So you're going to think like an entrepreneur. It's a thought process. Now, school, education, engineering, MBA, it gives us lots of knowledge. I'm not saying that's not important. It is very important. Having data, having knowledge, learning about skills, marketing, finance, HR, how you place your product, how you do cost cutting, how you evolve, how do you break even, all that is important. But these are things which can be taken care of by professional people. You don't need an entrepreneurial mindset to tell you that, okay, this is a product and I need to place it at this cost and this is my market segment or this is the service I need to get into. What an entrepreneur does is, he identifies a problem and then he sees whether his service or product can solve that problem. We call it the demand and supply gap. He identifies the demand and then sees if he can plug in and supply at an affordable price or at a value-added price. The consumer has to, why would anybody buy an Apple phone? Most of you use an Apple phone. You don't pay for a Samsung or any other Android phone. It gives you some experience which the other phone does not. You feel good about it. It's maybe a little quicker. It looks good. It gives you a brand value, which Apple has created over years. Did not happen overnight. It keeps upgrading. And then there are lots of other factors which make it what it is today. So as you create value in your product, in your brand, then you start minting money. The consumer gets used to your product. We'll just start the presentation and then we'll keep interacting on each slide. What do you understand by inclusive and sustained growth? When you grow, when you start a business, you become an entrepreneur, people around you, the ecosystem has to grow. It has to be a part of it. You can't say that, okay, I'm going to go rich, I'm going to be rich, but people working for me are not going to get rich. I'm going to drive a Mercedes and then maybe a Lamborghini, but the person who's coming to my office is always going to be on a TVS bike. That's not how it works. Your suppliers, your vendors, your employees, your colleagues, every client has to have some inclusion. Now, a perfect example of inclusive growth is Christ University. I'll tell you how. We have about 10,000 students plus, sir, if I'm right, in this campus, all courses put together.
More than that, maybe 14,000.
15,000 students. The entire 3-4 kilometer radius of this campus. I think you've got hundreds of PGs, several restaurants, food joints, beauty parlors, shops, selling everything from your daily commodities, food items, essentials, clothes. It's a complete ecosystem. Now, how would they flourish if there was no Christ University and 14,000 students? So these 14,000 students make the ecosystem where the PGs get business, the restaurants get business, the people who drop you to the college, maybe an auto, rickshaw, or however you commute, the Ola driver, get business. You buy local clothes, the shopkeepers get business. So just think about it, think out of the box. If you identify such problems where you let people grow with you, then it automatically puts your entire enterprise into an orbit or into a cycle which keeps growing on its own. And then what new you have to do is you have to think about new products or maybe new marketplaces. You don't have to bother about your daily working because it's taken care. And if your customer comes back to you the second time, the third time, then he's your customer unless something major goes wrong. So focus on inclusive and sustained growth. There's no such thing as being a millionaire or a billionaire overnight. I have really no idea how people do it or if some do it. There's this famous quote which says, Rome was not built in a day, but Hiroshima was destroyed in a few hours. So always be careful. Earning money is not easy. In today's time, we are living in a global world where, suppose you had the Milan or a Paris Fashion Week last evening. By today morning, thousands of vendors in India are willing to give you the first copy of those designer clothes. So there's nothing as a secret. It's all open. Now, how well you connect your market, how quickly you launch the product, at what quality is how it all depends. And there's nothing called a first mover advantage. Like people used to say earlier that, okay, I'll start, I have a first mover advantage. It's no longer the same. You can be the second player, you can be the third player, you can be the fourth player. You need to be more effective than the first or the second player. Your product needs to give more value to the consumer, and that's how it works. Okay, this is being an entrepreneur is not about marketing, finance, HR alone. It's a combination of everything, all linked to your personal traits. Your personal the individual that you are is at the center of it. And then you've got your marketing, finance, HR, operations, technology synergy, and a robust feedback system. We all read the papers every day. You see huge companies all of a sudden shutting down. 3 months ago, Ford India quit India. Ford was the world's largest automotive player. They took so much pride and they used to laugh at other people that we are unbeatable. Ford India had to quit India. But did they see this coming? Over the last 5 years, when Hyundai and Maruti and Kia and MG, Hector, when these companies have launched products after products, Ford India, I think they launched just 3 or 4 models. So you take the consumer for granted. You think just because you have the parent name Ford, people are going to line outside your showrooms and buy your cars. It doesn't work like that. Consumer is the king. You need to understand what he requires. You need to upgrade. You need to give him the best in the world. You can't say that we've got a good car launched in the US and we launch it in India 2 years, 3 years from today. No. You need to launch it in India first because India is a bigger market. We are no longer a third world country. The entire world looks up to Asia and particularly to India because we've got a very vibrant 130, 135 crore target market and a democratic country. By democracy, what I mean is people don't test their products in China. They do it in India. This is one advantage we have over a country like maybe China or Russia, where things do not flow from the public to the government. It's the other way around. It's one man or a couple of people and, okay, this is how it's going to work. But in India, we've got a very vibrant and democratic structure. This is very conducive for any entrepreneur to work in India. Always keep this in mind. We are at a very good place. We are at a very good time. The next 15, 20 years, those who are going to get onto this bandwagon. See, when you launch a satellite, 90% of the energy and the fuel is spent in making sure that the satellite leaves the Earth's gravitational force. And then it takes its own path. The 10% fuel takes it to its destination. Moon, could be anywhere else. So we need to change our thought process. We need to start thinking like entrepreneurs. You need to question, you need to be rebellious. I was very rebellious at college. I've calmed down now. I'm still rebellious, but I make sure that I don't offend anybody. I put it across in a very acceptable manner. So be rebellious, question, don't accept things as they are, and try to find solutions. Your solution or your question may sound stupid to somebody else, but it's okay. It's good to be dumb sometimes. You may fail again, but then 10 ways of not doing it because you failed 10 times. Just make sure you don't fail with the same reason again and again. Then you're really dumb. You need to find newer ways to fail. Identify the gap, the supply, the demand, and get your supplies in. We'll discuss this a little later. Build a robust business model, and again, review the feedback. Next. Okay, what is India? Can anybody just on this map pinpoint where is India? Can you see India?
Whole map is India.
You see whole map. Where is India?
The people of India are India.
Up there we see Ladakh. Then we see Delhi, Rajasthan, UP. Down south we see Kerala, Tamil Nadu. You're from Tamil Nadu. Where's India? You're India, right? Okay. India it's a belief, it's a dream which unites us. There's nothing called India. People sitting in the 9th floor of Christ Auditorium today, I don't say you represent India, I say you are India. Everything you do, everything you think, everything that you're going to do in your next 10, 20, 30 years is directly going to contribute to what India is. Nobody from Delhi sitting in big offices are going to come down and tell you, okay, this is India and we are doing this for you. And no, they've all got departments, they've got their jobs cut out, they're doing their job. They may be doing it effectively, not effectively, that's okay, debatable. But if we do it right every day, day after day, things change. These are some of the personal traits that an entrepreneur, which makes an entrepreneur. You need to be a visionary. My friend just mentioned Elon Musk at the start of it. Even in his wildest dream, I don't think he knew that he'll be the world's richest man. But he had a vision. He has a vision to solve problems which are very basic to the existence of mankind. Am I right? He's venturing into Mars through SpaceX, and fuel is a major problem, so he's getting electrical cars and electrical stations. These are, and now off late with Twitter and things like that. So he's trying to solve problems which are basic to everybody. Now, an electrical car is a market for the entire world. It's not a market for SG Palia or Koramangala or Bangalore alone. So he's into a field which is global. There are other people also. Maybe he's been little more lucky or he's worked little more hard and he's reached where he has, and rightfully so. So there are different business models. One which is local, you have a restaurant and you say, okay, I cater to 500 people every day. 4 or 5 college, the students and IT companies in and around Koramangala come, they have lunch, they dine. Fine. And then you make it a little bigger. Something like, say, Kanti Sweets or Haldiram in North India, and you say that I've got branches across the city or across the state. So that becomes a state model. And then you say, no, I'm a little more regional player. I'm going to get into pan-India level. And then anything that sells pan-India could be your business model. Lots of food companies, lots of clothing companies, Reliance Retail Store, they're all pan-India players. And then you say, okay, I'm going to be a global player. So today with technology, all of us in our hand, we've got a mobile phone. You just open, you Google, you Amazon. Sitting here, you can buy anything from across the world. So the entire world becomes your marketplace. There's no longer this barrier that used to exist earlier. Earlier, even to, you must have heard Narayan Murthy to buy the first computer. He had to wait for 6 months just to make sure that he gets the computer imported and cleared from the customs. We're not facing that challenges now. So things are pretty bright. It's the right time and the right place. Yeah. None of us use a pen drive now or a CD player technology is changing very quickly. So cameras, we all know what happened with Sony. They were extremely huge and successful with everything that they did with cameras and videographies and cassettes. And because technology changed, they could not adapt. So change with time. Make sure, don't be egoistic saying, okay, this is my dream project. I started this and no matter what, I'm going to keep continuing this. There's nothing such as keep continuing. You have to look at the live marketplace, the live technology that's happening, and then keep aligning yourself to the technology to exist in the market. And keep updating that. iPhone or any Android phone, every 6 months, 1 year, you have an updated version. Why do you have it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11 Pro Max. Is it needed? Do we need that speed? Do we need that technology? Somewhere, somebody is playing with our minds. Are Nisha got an iPhone 11. I still have a 10. I need to have 11. My friends have an updated version. And then you're forced to pay that 1 lakh rupee. Just because inside our mindset, we have that, it's been drilled into us that this is the latest phone. If you don't have this, people will laugh at you. People are really not bothered. It's the brand which has built this into your head. And now they're reaping rewards. I'm not saying it's good, it's bad. It's a part of the industry. Be realistic, be positive. We have this famous quote at office. No matter what happens. Yesterday, some machinery broke down. We're into manufacturing also. We have a manufacturing premises in Magdi Road. We employ about 200 employees there. So some machinery broke down. We were having lunch and we had to give some immediate consignment of packing material. Everybody was in panic mode. What do we do? The first thing that comes to our mind at the board and me personally is, we first tell them not to worry. So the production engineer called, I said, okay, don't worry, not to worry. He said, so what do you mean not to worry? I said, the machinery is broke down. It's broken down. We know it's broken down. We can't help it. Now find what the problem is, get the right engineers, check if you have the parts locally. If not, we get most of our parts from Chennai. And make sure that it's running on time. He said, what do we tell the client? I said, you call up the client and tell him honestly that the machine is broken down and we're going to take some more time. Be honest in your first attempt. You say a lie, you say that, okay, everything is ready, we are just loading and the transshipment is coming. Don't do that. The first attempt, be honest. Politely tell your client that yes, there's a problem. We are fixing it, we are on the job and we'll keep you updated. And it builds your respect. Over a period of time, you see that the client is going to believe you, give you more work because you're being honest to him. Things will go wrong. Everything is not perfect. Accepting that, yes, okay, things have gone wrong, finding a solution to it and moving on. You can't keep cribbing about it, okay, this happened, that happened. Each of us are different individuals. Don't compare yourself with anybody else. His journey may not be your journey. My journey may not be his journey. You only have to be a better self, a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. Analyze yourself, speak to yourself, try and understand what do you want. If you just want a 9-to-5 job and you're happy with it, nothing wrong in it. You say, okay, I want to work in a company, 9-to-5, I'm happy with it. They give me a good pay scale. I get promoted once in 2 years. Saturday, Sunday, I go trekking and I go watch a movie and I go cycling. Perfectly okay. Nothing wrong with it. So ask yourself, what is it that you want? We say the entire world, the entire ecosphere outside actually exists within us. You sit down alone, stay honest, ask yourself the questions, you're going to get almost every answer. Who am I? What do I need to do? And then be honest and do a simple exercise. It's said often, but I don't know if anybody does it. We do it. I do it personally. Just take a piece of paper. Write down the 5-10 things that you want to do or you want to work at. Personally, I want to go to the gym. I want to lose body fat. I want to grow my sales at 20%. I want to start a new product, have a residential product. Just write it down. Every morning or once a week, sit down with that document for that paper for 5 minutes and see if you have started working on it. If not, please start working on it or just scratch it. Because if you're not working on it, then there's no point writing it. And you'll see that eventually, month after month, 6 months, 12 months, if you're working on it honestly, you'll see results happening. Have an emotional connect. When you go home, have somebody, some people to whom you can go back to. When you're tired, you're frustrated, your day did not go well. Make sure you have that strong emotional connect at home, and that somebody or your family or your friend says it's okay, things didn't go right, you had a bad day today, forget it, calm down, relax, take rest, tomorrow is going to be a new day. So come back with the same zeal and enthusiasm the next morning and fight it out. Nobody's going to fight your battle. The professors are going to give you knowledge, your whatever, how good you write on your answer sheets, they'll give you your grades, 60, 70, 80, 90%. You'll get a job. Nobody's going to fight it out for you. If you want something, you have to fight it out yourself. You want to be big or you've got big dreams, then you cannot be working 8 hours, 12 hours a day. You need to be working 16 hours, 18 hours a day. You need to be a self-motivator. People are not going to come and tell you, okay, do this. Don't share your plans with everybody. Generally, people are not very happy with what you're doing. In front of you, they may say, hey, wow, things are great. But behind you, why is he growing so fast? Why not we, try and distract him? And so don't share your plans with everybody. Only speak to people how much is required. And hang out with people who are more intelligent than you. I've been doing this for 15 years. Never be in a group where you're the most intelligent person. It can be very dangerous. You think you know everything. Your friends know that you're an idiot. And you don't learn. So hang out with people who are at better positions professionally than you are. Maybe they are elder to you. They've got more experience. Then the level of discussion that happens at such groups gives you a lot of learning. Always have this ability to learn. Never say that I know everything. That's the end of your learning. Listen, observe, learn. It keeps improving. And then you feel so good about it that magic happens. You keep doing the same thing over and over and again, you're tired of it. So new thoughts, new ideas need to come. How do they come? With the people whom you move around with. Have good people. Have people who are super successful in their fields. And listen to them. You'll find the conversations to be so inspiring that you'll get on that thought process. You'll start thinking like them. Be humble, work hard, always look at the big picture. Don't be satisfied with anything less. Remember people with whom you network. 2 o'clock we entered the campus. At the gate was this security gentleman. He'd got 2 stars. I told Mohinder, he's the same person who did not have any stars and he was in charge of the MBA block when we were doing MBA. We stopped the car, we got on. That gentleman was weeping and he hugged us both. In front of 50 people in front of your cafeteria, we hugged your security in charge. He said, sir, I feel somebody from my hometown and my village has come. He had joined when we were doing MBA in 2008. And today I think he's one of your head security staff. So we'll be having coffee with him after this event. We've asked him to, we promised him we are coming back. He does not get any money from us. He has no hidden motive. But you feel good that somebody 10 years ago remembered you. He did not remember that you were a security guard, but he remembered you as a person. So remember people. You never know when in life, which person is of importance to you, the network of which person can help you do something. Tomorrow, 5 years down the line, maybe he's got a security agency himself. And if I've got some work in and around Koramangala or this part of Bangalore, I know whom to connect. I'm going to call him and our relation is far beyond business. because that's a human one-to-one relation. So always have human relations with people. Do not look down upon anybody. He's doing his job because he's got a family to feed. And he's doing his job very beautifully. So look up to everybody very proudly. Respect them. I don't know how many of you, when you go in and out of the college, have you ever said hello to any security in charge, any watchman, anybody who does it? All of you do it. It makes that person's life so easier. You know, he's got a daughter who's 22 years old. I know about this. He cannot afford the daughter to be in this institute studying. But your that respect to him will make him happy, will give him more confidence, will make his life more worthy. You say good morning to him for 2 days, 3 days. You see the 4th day, he'll look at you and he'll say good morning, sir. You don't have to say good morning again. Make people happy around you. Be very proud of your family origins and background. I am from a remote part of Kerala. I am from Rajasthan. I am from West Bengal. I am from Bombay. I am from South Delhi. No matter where you're from, be proud of your background. All our parents have worked extremely hard, are working extremely hard. I don't think there's anybody here who's paying his own fees. If you are, hats off. But all our parents are working hard. When you go to the public, when you go to big places, when you go to offices, don't shy away to speak about your background. Don't say, oh mom, I'm not taking you there because the crowd is different there. Be proud of your heritage. The roots should never be forgotten. They are warriors. Our parents, many of you can correlate. Your father, your mother, maybe they've not done things they wish to do because there were commitments at home. Maybe because you had to take care of your grandparents and there were medical expenses, or because the school fees had to be paid. We are all mortals. We don't know when we're going to die. And the last couple of years with COVID and all these new things happening, don't take life for granted. So I always say, take care of your parents. Be very respectful to them. Their blessings work. I've felt this magic all my life. Blessings of elders and your parents make things very easy. So always take care of your parents and make them proud. Very often, just tomorrow morning, just get up and if your parent is here, just go and hug him, especially your dad. Because we generally say, we hug our mom, we hug the mother, we love her, but we don't do it to our father. We say that, no, you feel awkward or you're not comfortable. You'll see he'll start crying. He'll feel good about it. And then there are lots of these positive vibes in and around our nature, the universe, the cosmos. I'm a little spiritual, so I do believe in all this. Those positive vibes will turn into miracles for you. You'll see lots of things which are not happening will all of a sudden be happening. Lots of deals which you did not expect will start coming to you. Lots of promotions will start coming to you. Lots of good people will start interacting with you. So all this happens with positivity. So blessings of elders is very important. Do not disrespect elders is all I can say. No gyan. If you want it, do it. You don't want it, don't do it. It's okay. I'm just giving you my opinion on it. Learn from failures everywhere. I think failures are the best friend an entrepreneur can have. If anybody is saying that he's succeeded in the first attempt, he's either not successful or he's lying. Elon Musk, Amazon, you talk about Mark Zuckerberg, anybody, you talk about Dhirubhai Ambani, Ratan Tata, Narayan Murthy, nobody succeeds in the first attempt. Because you cannot succeed in the first attempt. If you've succeeded, there's something wrong with it. You must have been lucky that, okay, one part of it is done and you've crossed one level. But to build a big enterprise over a huge period of time, failure is a daily part of our lifestyle. We fail every day. We fail every day, we learn every day, and we move forward. So don't be afraid of failures. Pond, lake, river, sea, ocean, there are small fishes in the pond. With due respect to everybody, when you're working for somebody, then you're in an aquarium you're in a small or a big aquarium, you're a small fish there, the owner will not let you think beyond that aquarium. He'll make you believe that aquarium is the world. He won't let you think beyond it. He'll tell you this is the world, do this and don't do this. So come out of this mindset, work for some time if you need to. All of us have different backgrounds, we have different commitments, we've got different financial and social commitments. So if you cannot start up on your own, work for some time, but the ultimate objective should be that if somebody doing MBA from Bangalore, from Christ University, if you are going to look for jobs, then who's going to create job? I mean, we're one of the premier institutes in the country. We're among the best in the world. If our students are going to look for jobs, then who's going to create job? What will students from 2-tier, 3-tier cities doing MBA in less privileged institutes do? They are not going to be job creators because they don't have the exposure, they don't have the vision. We are living in Bangalore, which is not only the IT capital, it's the education capital, it's the healthcare capital of the world. How many of you know that there's a hospital called Narayan Health, run by Dr. Devi Shetty in Bomsandra? Do you know that they operate 50 to 55 open heart surgeries every day, which is the highest in the world in a campus? 55 open heart surgeries every day. Now that man had a vision. He worked for Birla Hospital in Calcutta. I know them because they are my family friends. His son, Dr. Varun, is a cardiac surgeon himself and my schoolmate at Bishop Cottons. Anything wrong with this slide? This slide, anything wrong? Can you see something? It's all okay? Avinash sir, anything wrong? All okay? I think the spelling of friend is wrong. If you want to be an entrepreneur, have that eyesight to identify problems. Finding a solution only begins once you've identified the problem. So what kind of solution you do, what kind of business you build, all that comes later on. Identify problems first, make a list of problems. I'll just give you a small example. Christ, about 1,000 students do MBA every year from all our campuses put together, sir. Delhi and about say 1,000 plus students do MBA. From this year, say a group of 5-10 students for their summer internship. They take up a project and they say we are going to make a robust software and an app which gathers information of all MBA students starting from this year. They can do it 2 ways. One, they start from this year and move forward every year. And one group can work on collecting data backwards, 2021, 20, 19. What it's going to do is, all of a sudden you'll see you've got so much data available, 1,000 students. So say for next 5 years, if you do it, the university, it can be a university collaborated program so that the university has got control of the data that is being generated. Over next 5 years, you'll have say 5,000 to 6,000 students. By that time, they'll be doing wonderful job. They'll all be perhaps in various corners of the world, in various countries, various cities, at various posts. Now, if anybody wants to connect, now today, if I want to connect to my batchmates, I think I've got about 15 to 20 of them who are still in contact. We've got a small WhatsApp group of 20, 25 people. Apart from that, maybe on Instagram I'll have to search, but there's no way that I can connect to all 250 students that were in my batch. So can you have a database where you feed the data and say once a year, make it an automated thing, that a message goes to that particular mobile number. If he's changing the number is updated. Have that system. And then after 5 years, 10 years, you'll see you've got a database of 10,000 students who are now who's now say vice president of a company, who's heading a company, who's at a senior post, somebody doing some civil office job, somebody into politics, anywhere. And then you've got these 10,000 people who are from the same institute. You know how to connect to them. Last month I went to Kathmandu on FII visit. It's a parallel body to CII, and we work in coordination with central and state leadership. and also other countries. So we were on a visit to Kathmandu for 4 days. We met the Honorable Finance Minister, Indian Ambassador, Nepal Ambassador, Tourism Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, RBI Governor. We met almost everybody there. The basic idea was to encourage people in Nepal to invest in India and people in India to invest in Nepal. So it's like a B2B confidence building measure between two countries. Lots of government, the ministers, the political part of it is not able to do this. There's where you have industrial chambers in place. We go there, we don't talk politics, we only talk business. Now they wanted an affordable healthcare, so we proposed that why not have a heart hospital from Dr. Devi Shetty. Tomorrow you'll find out that there are thousands of students from Nepal coming and studying in India. So why not some university like ours and others put up a campus in Nepal? So it's all fast-tracked and directly the PMO is involved. So things become a little easy. Okay, now we'll talk few things about concrete subjects on business, not just general statements. Whatever business you're into, each product or each service has to be a profit center. Now suppose you're making ITC, for example. It's, I think, India's best example for a company which is into multiple verticals. They've got tobacco to paper to biscuits to notebooks, almost everything. Each of your business has to be a profit center. What do you understand by a profit center? Anybody? Just when I say a particular product or a particular business is a profit center, what do you make of it?
Gross margin, making sure that you are in the profit.
Right. What we say, each product has to be a profit center is, as an owner of an enterprise, if you say that I've got 10 products, 4 of them are making money and 6 are not making money. So in the long run, it is advisable not to continue with those 6 products. Because then what happens is the profit you're making from these 4 products is filled into the gap which is being bleeded by the other 6 non-profit products. So this is an important thought that you always remember. Over a period of time, if you want to relaunch a particular product which is not doing well, you do it after a lot of homework, but for that moment you withdraw. Don't ride your wounded horses. If you think something is not making profit, stop it. It may be close to your heart, it may be close to your brain, but the client really does not. It doesn't matter to the customer. What you're thinking doesn't matter to the customer. So you need to align your products and your business strategy, keeping the customer in focus. So if there's something which is not doing well, hold on, withdraw it, take it to the drawing room, understand it again, relaunch it if you need to. If not, it's okay to discontinue a product. Don't be emotionally attached to any particular product or service. Be agile and adaptive is, again, be aware of what is happening around you. Technology is changing very quickly. So make sure that the future businesses are either going to be technology businesses or technology-driven businesses. You cannot have anything outside these two domains. Even if you're in a manufacturing sector, it has to be technology-driven. From your procurement of material to manufacturing to logistics to your payment cycle. Everything has to be technology-driven. You cannot call each of your clients. Now we've got about 1,200 clients. I cannot physically, or my people cannot physically call everybody every week and tell them some payment is due. Please do the payment. So you have a system in Tally and in an accounting thing, gives you this freedom that, okay, you set your payment cycle, say for these customers it is 15 days, for these it is 30 days. Beyond 30 days, if the payment does not come, then automatically a message is sent to the client, reminder 1, reminder 2. And if then the payment doesn't come, then your human effort of calling falls in place. So it saves a lot of energy. When you're working, we all have 24 hours. Elon Musk has got 24 hours, Barack Obama has got 24 hours. Somebody sitting and not doing anything also has 24 hours. So utilize your time. Wherever technology can help you save time, use it. Very useful. Know more about your competitors than they know about themselves. This is something very close to my heart. We're into warehousing and polymer packaging. So when I started off, there were already 2-3 big players in Bangalore. They were all big shots and very deep pockets. And we met at a normal social gathering, and they knew what I was doing. But they did not know that I had more information about their machineries and the brand they are using, and how outdated their machines are. Because they're all 10, 15 years old, and they did not, it's like family run business, so they didn't change. So I just politely told them that how much production you're doing in the entire month, we'll be doing every 2 days with 30% lower power usage and almost 50% lower labor cost, because our entire manufacturing line is PLC controlled, and we've got a zero waste system where we do not waste any plastic. We're into plastic and polymers, so we have a recycling system in-house. So whatever manufacturing waste happens is immediately recycled and reused. We use solar lighting and green manufacturing. The water is not wasted. Machines are more efficient. So these are things they did not know, because they thought that, okay, they've achieved everything in life. They've got good money, good business, and who cares? And all of a sudden, we found out that in less than 1.5, 2 years, we had almost 70-80% market share in Karnataka alone. And the same people met me at a social gathering after 1 year. And they were very helpful and very respectful, because they had no option. And I told them, sir, not to worry, we are putting up one more plant. So always know about your know about your competitors. How it helps you is, do it ethically. I'm not saying put somebody into the board meeting and find out what they're speaking. No, don't do that. But ethically try and gather information. There's various sources. You've got various media houses. You've got various balance sheets are nowadays available. All listed companies, the balance sheets are available. So if you can just pick up your competitor's balance sheet and go through them, if you spend say 1 or 2 nights and go through all the documents, you'll actually get to know how much they've invested on plant and machinery, what are the kind of payment cycles they've got. It's all available. There's a lot of data available, but we need to read it, not just look at Instagram reels. Balance sheets need to be read. I'm also an equity investor in personal capacity. I'll discuss about this towards the end of it. Just a few things. Anybody wanting to be an entrepreneur, you can just take a picture of this slide, or I'll share the slide. Whatever service or product you intend to do, it has to save time, it has to make life better, it has to be cost effective, and eventually it has to solve some problem. If you're not doing one or more of these, you're not going to be sustainable. Because then the customer is not going to come to you. He does not love you. Unless you're giving him something which solves or gives him one of these experiences, you're of no value to him. So align your business model to give customers this delight. You've all been to Corner House? Bangalore is famous for Corner House ice creams. Yeah? They used to sell a hot chocolate fudge for 18 rupees when I was in school. I think it's 150 or 200 rupees now. 230. But do you get that hot chocolate fudge, that taste, or do you feel happy about having hot chocolate fudge somewhere else? So, how many of you from Bangalore? So naವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಆ ಹಾಟ್ ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್ ಫಜ್ ತಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಬ್ಯಾಸ್ಕೆಟ್ ರೋಬಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಹಾಟ್ ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್ ಫಜ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ, do you have the same feeling? Right. How do they do it? They give you some delight. They give you something in their chocolate syrup, the way they make it or the way they serve it, and then they emotionally connect to you. Like I remember 20 years ago, I used to go there. So that brand has been living in my heart for 20 years. So somewhere within our DNA, they've got a print. On a Sunday morning, you go to MTR very close to you. You have a masala dosa there. Something special about it. The way they give it and maintaining quality year after year, day after day. So doing the same thing, if you're doing something good, keep doing it every day. Keep doing it every month. Keep doing it every year. You'll realize that after 5 years, 10 years, you'll have such great people as your loyal clients, not because you're doing some rocket science, but because you're doing the same good thing every day. Making a dosa and a sambar and a chutney is not rocket science. Lots of people can do it. But why does MTR do it better than others? Because they've been maintaining the same quality, they procure the raw material from the same place year after year for 10, 20, 30 years. So it builds that connect. We've discussed this. You can have a local business, state business. You can be a pan-India or you can be global and technology-driven. Next. Yeah, this is my favorite slide. Who am I? Who I want to be? What my priorities are? What I need to do? Set your goals, work on it, monitor, prioritize your life, be honest and love yourself. At the end of the day, if you're doing something, maybe you're working, maybe you're an entrepreneur, but if you're not loving yourself, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then don't do it. So it's very important to love yourself. Bimal can directly correlate. He's understood a few things last evening. You need to love yourself. Don't think that the entire world is depend on you and you have to do things and you have nothing other than work to do. Have a personal life. Profession is not everything. Be sincere about life. We always say this. Don't be serious about life. Don't take life seriously. Be sincere at work. Be honest when you're working. When you're at campus, when you're attending a lecture, be honest. But after that, have fun. Have humor. A day without humor is a day wasted. Go out, hang around with friends. Have a good time. Because these college days are not going to come back. Tomorrow somebody may be very successful. You may have a lot of money. The mic is coming up a little bit. It's okay. Yeah. You can hear me at the end? Yes, sir. Right. You may have a lot of money. You may be successful. But then you're not going to have these days again. And then you'll feel that, I had such good friends. They used to go out for movies. They used to call me. But I did not join. I told them I have to do my CIA. I'm not saying don't do the CIA. But find time for other things also. Provided your CIA is on time. Sir's looking at me. Next. Believe in yourself. If you're not going to believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe you. You want to sell a product, you want to sell a service, you want to do good things. You go meet people. Tomorrow you go meet investors. You want people funding you. You want to meet angel investors. You want to convince people that I have a good product. If you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect them to believe you? So have this strong system where you believe that, okay, I'm not saying be egoistic or say that you're the best. No. But have that self-respect that I'm pretty decent and there are things which I can do. A 19-year-old kid is the editor of KGF 2. Do you all know this? 19-year-old. And that person, even in his dreams, did not think that he's going to make KGF 2. He had not edited any complete movie before that. It was only a few short films, a couple of commercials. So if a 19-year-old kid can do this, and the editing was superb, you need to watch the movie for that. So there's nothing like you need to be 35 or 40 or 50 to do something. If you think you're good at something, pursue your dreams. Convince your family. The family part of it, I have a personal opinion. Do not discuss your professional thoughts with your immediate family members. Discuss life, spirituality, mannerism, all this with them. Don't tell them that this is in my head and I want to do it professionally. They are going to tell you on your face that you're mad. They want to tell you just get a normal job. Sharmaji's son is working in Infosys. You work in Wipro. Get a good life. In 3 years' time, get a house. Prestige, Purvankara, 3-bedroom flat. Get a good, decent car. Get married, have good kids. Because the family loves you. I'm not saying they're wrong. That's their way of thinking, how they love you. Because they want to see you happy. but they do not realize what dreams you have or what aspirations, what kind of, things are going inside your head. And you cannot explain it to them because they are all 50 plus, and they, I cannot explain my father that this is what I want to do. He tells me I'm your father. So the discussion stops there. What do I tell him? If I go explain to him that, okay, I've got a new offer for a short film in Mumbai, and the director wants to work with me. He tells me, what nonsense you're talking, go to office. And that's it, end of the debate. So now we've reached a state where we don't discuss business matters with the family. We tell them we are on the legal side of the law. We are not doing anything illegal, or you won't have notices from departments. We are following all the bylaws. But then be free to do things you like to do. Boman Irani did not become a chocolate boy hero at 24, 25. But then he's a damn good actor. He's doing brilliant work. So if there's something close to your heart which you want to pursue, once you're little sustainable economically, you're taking care of your basic livelihoods, your parents, everything, follow your dreams. You're only going to have one life. You live only once. So, you don't want to be in a situation where you're 70 years old and you're about to die. And then you say that this was very close to my heart, but I did not do anything about it. Nobody's going to regret. The regret is all yours. So if you want happiness, if you want to follow your dreams, it's you who have to go out of your way, take some bold steps, and make sure that it happens. If it does not happen, you've at least tried. You don't say to yourself that I did not try. So follow your dreams is what I would say. Value time is something very important because we all have only 24 hours a day. We all sleep for 6, 7, 8 hours. Other things take up 2, 3 hours. Value time. If you want to do multiple things, make sure that you've got time for multiple things. So arrange it accordingly. Don't waste time. In a meeting, be the last person to speak. This is very important. Even in your group discussions, your college, your meeting and classroom, your presentations, it's always good to be the last person to speak and good to be the person sitting in the last bench. Because the person in the first bench is listening to listening or pretending to listen to the speaker or watch the presentation. The person like Mr. Avinash at the last bench is watching what everybody is doing. So if you want to be the boss, sit in the last bench. But it's practically not possible for everyone to sit there. You get a view of what's happening. When you're the last person in a meeting, you understand and you listen to what everybody has to say. You get all the opinions, and then it becomes easier for you to give the direction of the meeting. Towards the end of it, once you have a collective opinion of everybody, don't be that talkative person who talks a lot, who tries to, just because he's got good English and he's always there and he takes up 50% of the time talking. Maybe everything he says is rubbish. You can speak for only 2 minutes on a meet and be the most intelligent person. 90% of your energy should go into listening to people, to understand everything that's going around in that meeting. And then in the last 2 minutes, you give your view. Don't authorize that, okay, this is what is to be done. Just leave your view and leave it there. Let every individual think about what they want to do. Yeah. With great power should come great responsibility. This is copied from the Spider-Man series. I'm not getting into politics, but Putin is very powerful. So look what one mistake of one person has done to the world. Raw metal prices across rubber, steel, cement, plastic, everything shooting up. Countries are becoming bankrupt. Sri Lanka is on the verge of bankruptcy. There are other countries following. Lots of African countries don't have, forget water, they don't have edibles, they don't have their food supplies for a week. So if you're small and if you're not powerful, you can be stupid. Because that stupidness of yours does not affect other people. But as you start getting powerful, as more and more lives are dependent on you, or your decisions matter. So as you grow up the ladder, it's important to be responsible. Don't take any decisions in a quick manner. Think about the pros and cons and then take a call. the last line is what happened with Will Smith about 15 days ago at the award ceremony, where he slapped the host. So be careful when you're at the top, the devil comes for you. So as you go to the top, be more humble and be more respectful. Yeah. The other slides, I'll just share the PPT. These are basically about how do you become a rainmaker. It's from a book, How to Be a Rainmaker by Jeffrey Fox. I always have this book on my table because at the end of the day, any organization, it is the revenue which is important. You can have a very good HR system, you can have good finance system, but if your marketing and sales are not getting the revenue, if you're not able to sell to the client, then everything else, the HR will have nothing to do because you will not need employees. The finance will have nothing to do because you're not selling anything, so you don't make any profit. So it all boils down to the marketing and sales team, which brings the revenue, which sells product, which is the face of the company to the client. It all starts from there. It's like a chain reaction. So I always say we are all equal, but in any organization, the marketing and sales team is ultimately responsible. It's the lifeline of the organization. You need to sell. If you don't sell, you have a good auditorium, you never use it. It does not make sense. So your product needs to be sold. You want to see some slides from my college days? I made a small PPT. We're basically into construction, warehousing. You all must have heard of Kanti Sweets. It's a big outlet in Bangalore. They've got about 120 stores. So most of their manufacturing happens on our premises. We design customized factory premises for medium and large industries in Bangalore. And in polymers, we've got a unit called Bimal Corporation, which is one of India's largest producers of PP strapping and BOPP tapes, which is used to seal carton boxes. That's my father with Swami Ramdevji, chairman of Patanjali Ayurved. He's one of our leading clients. Some of the brands we work with. Some pictures and videos of some of the warehousing that we're doing. This is a small industrial park in Magdi Road that we've developed. It's on 25 acres and we've got about 25 units running and 5 under construction for this year. So with Jimmy Mistry on the left, extreme left, he's the MD of Dela Group in Mumbai, and Mr. Shailendra Sharma, MD of Kanti Sweets in the center. This is from our Kathmandu visit 15 days ago. These are some pictures from Christ. Bottom extreme left, the security guard is still in the picture. He's put on a little weight, that's all. You are always on the stage from the Freshers' Day to every event. This is during the shooting of Three Idiots. The shooting happened just like this, IIM Bangalore. So one of our professors, Professor Shrija Bhattacharya, she's no more with us. She used to take statistics at Christ, and her husband was a senior professor at IIM. So he was very kind, and we all went there on an afternoon, and we met Amir Khan and the entire crew of Three Idiots, and we got to see a couple of shoots also. Get this. Any questions? Great questions, please.
You were telling about the stock something, equity and
Equity, yeah, okay. In personal capacity, I am an equity investor. I'm not a trader. If you're into equities or you study about it, you know the difference. There's one group which is called the trader group, and the others who are investors. I've read lots of books and articles written by Warren Buffett and Peter Lynch. So I have this philosophy that every good thing takes time. And I don't believe in risk and gambling. Even if somebody was to offer me crypto and things like that for free, I would not take it because I don't know who owns it. It does not have a robust system. And according to me, only the sovereign state has the right to issue currencies. India can issue currency, United States can issue currency. But tomorrow, if Bitcoin is to go to zero, I don't know whom to go to because we don't know who the owners are, what they do, what they run. So I invest in blue chip companies and small companies after reading their balance sheets. Companies like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Reliance, Bank of Baroda, etc. in personal capacity. You get a gift for asking a question. So I think some questions are coming.
Yeah.
You actually get a gift. You can show the gift. You have to sell it, no? So jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai. Last. Thank you.
Yeah, my question, in life you'll get some kind of situation where we need to, should I follow passion or should I follow the, what opportunities I have? So what you recommend, as almost like your 10 years of journey, following passion or following opportunity later, converting your passion there?
It's a tricky question. I'll be very honest. After MBA 2010, I went to Mumbai. I auditioned for Actor Prepares Anupam Kher. But my family told me, if you're leaving home now, we are not going to accept you back. Like a complete Hindi movie, scene going on. So they said, you go, but don't come back. So I did not go and I stayed back. And now after 12 years, once everything is sorted out, I intend to going back. I'm going back. I'm speaking to a couple of directors and we are starting some short films. And because that's my dream, it's very close to my heart. So I may not be a full-time actor, but yes, I can devote 5-10% of my time in a year to something what I love to do. So not leaving it.
So you followed passion, basically.
After 12 years.
After 12 years.
After 500 employees and a good balance sheet. Because now nobody at home questions me. They know he's a complete madman. And now even if we stop him, he's not going to stop. I had different reasons then. Everybody has their financial commitments. So now since everything is settled and God has been kind, I am following my dreams now. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, you talked about how parents and how their love kind of hinders us from our dreams. So I just wanted to know how you dealt with that, and throughout the 10 to 12 years that you just stated, how that transformed, how their perception transformed through that Mumbai.
Thanks. After MBA, once I told you I wanted to go to Mumbai and audition for this. So for 2 days there was a lot of melodrama. And once they convinced me not to go, they forgot everything and it was pampered as usual. So parents get angry very quickly, but they also start loving you very quickly. So I think I don't have a particular answer for this. Maybe I should have gone, should not have gone. We all have a different journey. We are all individuals. So there's no one word answer to it that this is right or wrong. I think you'll have to figure it out yourself. We all have to figure it out ourselves. Do we have enough gifts? Mohinder? Alright.
So I have a question about entrepreneurship. So he or she might have an idea to be an entrepreneur, but the idea may not be fully polished or doesn't have a robust business model. So say it's just a kacha idea, it's just an idea yet now, it's not fully developed. So how they should be move on with it? Should they just jump in and start with it, or just get the right things to a plan, to have a total model, then go on with it?
No matter what you do, it's very important to go in prepared. Don't go unprepared.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is, in the middle of our interaction, I told you I hang around with people who are more intelligent than I am. So have such people to whom you can go to. They can be your professors, they can be your friends in the industry, and try and figure out to speak to people who give you an honest opinion, not a biased opinion. Your family will not give you an honest opinion. So you need to find people who are neutral, give you an honest picture that this can happen and this cannot happen, this may go wrong, and then speak to experts. You've got experts on every field, everywhere. So use all information, and at the end of it, try to put it down into what your thought process is, and in the end, follow your gut feeling. If you have a feeling that you're going to do it, then my favorite quote is just do it. Don't wait too long.
Okay, sir.
Thanks.
One more question.
Usko bhi gift dijiye, please.
So if not a gift, as a gift, can I have the internship in your company?
you're looking at summer internship?
Yes, sir.
We'll work on this and get back to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
See, as similar as the same question. So basically, I was very passionate to be an entrepreneur. So basically, I started, thinking innovative ideas from my childhood itself. So whatever the idea is coming into my mind, I was putting towards to my dad. He was very good supportive, and each and every innovative when I was keeping up to him. So within few days or few months, it's coming out it's already in the world. See, where can I take a chance to come up with my innovative? So when can I get to be in the world?
My answer to this is the marketplace is not restricted. Ideas are not restricted. So if you have multiple ventures, multiple people doing solving the same problem, it's perfectly okay. If your way of solution is better than the others, if you're continually evolving, you'll find your customer base. So just because you think that you had some innovation idea and somebody else has started it up, it's not the end of it. You can learn what he or she is doing, and you can make your idea and business model more robust and more effective. And it's easier. In fact, if somebody started if something you're thinking and if it's already a business venture, you can study the entire thing and your work becomes much easier, because you have to take that, add a few things, delete a few things, and launch. So this would don't shy away from doing things. Even if it's competition, it's okay. Competition is always good. You believe that your venture will be better than his or hers. So with that belief, you get into the market.
See, the thing is I was coming with the good idea, but when I wanted to implement or when I want to move on that, so with in the process itself, I was facing in the world. So that was already established.
How does that stop you from doing it? I don't understand. If somebody is already with an idea and if the product or service is launched, you're saying that something that you had in mind,
Yes.
somebody has already started doing it.
Yes, yes.
So it's okay. You have hundreds of institutes. We have hundreds of brands of anything that we want to do. So the marketplace is basically very huge. It can accommodate multiple people providing the same service. At the end of it, how do we know that that person who has launched is going to sustain for too long? How do we know that people are going to like his service? So if you've got a better business model and sustainable in the long term, I think you should do it.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Amok. I'm also Catonian.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Once a Catonian, always a Catonian.
Yes. March on, Christchurch, march on. On, straight on.
On straight on. Which batch?
2014. Okay, my question is,
Yes.
so at what stage, my mom forces me to come to the family business. I also join.
What does your family business do?
It's a textile intermediary. Textile intermediate distributor. Right?
Yes.
So the thing is, whenever I like to do something on a thing into entrepreneurship, one thing is, usually I discuss with my friends, they're in jobs and everything. So and I think any startup is to be start with at least a co-founder. It's hard to start by one person. So if I'm doing my own, I think what phase of the idea should you leave other things and concentrate on that?
So basically asking how do you speak to your family about what you want to do, and then whether it should be done alone or with a couple of co-founders. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Be honest with your family. Sit down with them. On a maybe Saturday evening, you tell them that Sunday afternoon or evening, I want to sit down with all of you. They may avoid you the first Sunday, the second Sunday. Ultimately, or maybe on the third Sunday, they'll give you time. So sit down with them and very politely explain to them that there's something on my mind, and this is something that I want to try. I may fail, but this is something close to my heart, and I want you to emotionally support. I spoke about an emotional connect. So your family is your immediate emotional connect, because you go back home every evening to them. So try and explain to them, try and speak to them. And I personally believe every parent, to an extent, will be little protective they'll be little afraid of you starting something new, but you have to convince them. And tomorrow, suppose they tell you, no, you're not doing it. Then you have a very small answer. You say, no, I'm doing it. You're an adult now. So respect them, but if there's something in your mind, please don't not do it because your family does not want you to do it. And about the co-founders, it again depends on how you're. I have no co-founders, none of my institutes, because I'm a little strong-headed person. I like to be in control, and I don't like to be told what to do at work. We have discussions, everything okay, but at the end of it, I have a vision, and we are trying to follow that vision. So your personal trait, you need to decide if this kind of work suits you, or having a co-founder suits you. Because then anything you want to do, you have to discuss with him, her, and they have to agree, and then do it. You alone cannot take all the calls. So this is something to do with your personality trait, that at the top, can you work with people, or you have to work alone? This is again, you have to ask yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. I again thank all the professors, Jyoti sir especially, with all your discussion that we had. I think we started off a fruitful session, and even if 10 students or 5 students can be encouraged to be entrepreneurs. I always say a good educated individual, a literate person, a healthy person is an asset for a country. So a good entrepreneur is an asset. He's going to change the life of hundreds and thousands of people. But a bad entrepreneur is going to spoil lives of hundreds of people. So we all should focus on being prepared, getting the right things, getting your value system, a good business model, and focus on inclusive and sustained growth. Don't get into startups just because you want to make a brand, sell it, make money, and get out. There are people doing it. I do not correlate with it. I would say become an entrepreneur for life, change lives, impact lives. That's where the value system grows. So I thank everybody, and especially Professor Avinash. We'd had lots of discussions. And Bimal, we'll keep interacting now. I thank Mohinder for being here today. I thank all the technicians, the auditorium maintenance staff, and the volunteers. So I'm so happy to see you. You recognized me. And thank you so much. Yes, thanks. And I always end it with, let's make India a better country. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Hi everyone. As Mr. Pratik rightly said, be the last person in the meeting to speak. I'm here to give that vote of thanks.
Perfect entrepreneurial material.
Yes.
Sir, thanks for delivering an excellent session and enlightening us on entrepreneurship. I'm sure your talk has inspired many to pursue the path of entrepreneurship. On behalf of Christ University, I extend my heartfelt thanks to today's speaker, Mr. Pratik Bhansali, the Group CEO of Bimal Bhansali Group and an alumni of Christ University, for joining and enriching us in his vast experience in decoding entrepreneurship. Sir, your words will be helpful for shaping our careers. And you rightly said that we will fight for ourselves. Our heartful thanks to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Father Abraham Mani, a guiding line for us in all our endeavors. I thank the university leadership team to extend constant support in upbringing us. I profoundly thank our Dean, Dr. Jane Matthew, Associate Deans and Head of Departments and Head of Specializations, the Corporate Interface team, and faculty members of the Department of MBA, School of Business and Management. I thank everyone who directly or indirectly contributed in conducting such sessions. Finally, I thank all my friends for a wonderful audience. Thank you.